Just cleaning up this radiator. I've given it a wash under the high pressure hose there. Now I'm just cleaning all the fins here. Just giving it a service, you know, and before you put it back, you want to do this because this will improve the cooling. If you don't open these up again, like as you see there, they've gone flat, something's hit it, maybe a hose, or when I was removing it, maybe something scraped against it, because it was a tight fit, very tight fit, so most likely, yeah, so if you don't actually open these up, it's good to use something really thin. This one is not the thinnest. I wish it was a thinner one, but I don't have a thinner one. Perhaps I should use a screwdriver, a flat screwdriver, but a really small one. If you don't open this up, this is actually going to reduce the cooling effect on the radiator. It may not look like much, but these cars, these four-wheel drives, they're designed to be able to go out into the bush in the hot weather. So you want to make sure you get your radiator working 100%, because if you don't, the four-wheel drive can let you down. So what I'm doing here, I'm just opening up all the little fins. It's a tedious job because there's a lot of them. Look at that. I've done some of them already, roughly around here somewhere, but I've got more here to do. I may not open all of them, but I will do the best to open the worst ones, especially the ones in the middle. So I'm just spending time doing this. It's not an easy process. It's a very boring one. I'd rather be at the out there at the car installing it, but I'm taking a little bit of time and a little bit of pride in the quality of my work. I'm just taking my time to open them up. I'm probably a perfectionist or something, because most people won't even bother doing this. They'll just throw it in. It's second hand, throw it in, but no, not always like that. If you've got time, do your best, because if it lets you down, you're gonna know why. It's if it does break down again, at least you can say it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your terrible job, because you did a good job. Not your fault. It was just about to happen. So I mean, eliminating the fact that the opportunity for this to go wrong in this point here. Just have to make sure you don't poke too hard. They're very, very soft. It's a very thin material. If you have a close look at it, that material is very thin. One puncture, push too hard, you will break them. It's not going to leak there, but if you press here and you push too hard on this part here, this is where the water runs. The air runs through here, water runs through these veins. So, and the heat gets distributed or exchanged through these little fins as it passes air. As air passes through, causes a cooling effect. And the more air that passes through, the cooler the radiator gets. So that's what it looks like. I'm just going to continue doing that. And then what I'll do is I'll take this radiator hose and use it. I mean, take it away and not use it, because it's got a hole right here. It's got a puncture hole right about there. So be careful with radiator hoses from the wrecker. You gotta double check them, because they actually intentionally put holes in them. The bottom holes especially, to drain the coolant out of the system. I only know this because the guy that was at the counter warned me and said that these hoses, you have to be very careful. They often pierce them when the car arrives, they pierce them to drain the coolant out because it can't be, they don't like wasting time, which is a very bad excuse, really. You know, they shouldn't be piercing them. They should just, you know, there's a drain plug right here. Just undo that. There's a tap right here. Well, I guess it's better than breaking the radiator. Yeah. So if I needed a radiator and I went over there to pick up one, it wouldn't have worked out good. But the top one should be fine, they tell me. And the top one does look good, but I will inspect it before I put it back. These cooling, oh, it's tough here. They're very tight in some spots. So yeah, don't try to pull them all apart. I mean, some of them you will get, but I'm just trying to open them up as much as possible. It may not be 100% possible, but look at that, it's looking much better. So I'm going to go this side as well, open it up. It's a tedious job, really, guys. This is mechanicking, right? This is how life as a mechanic is. If you work as a mechanic in a workshop, you might be required to do some of this in the shop, especially when you get a second-hand part. You might be asked to recondition it before you put it into your customer's car, and one of the jobs is maybe doing this. So I've given you a handy tip. If you're ever working in a workshop and your manager or boss tells you to do this, fix a radiator, second-hand one, or if you just damage it yourself, like, you know, when you're trying to install it and you push too hard on it, don't get stressed, and don't just put it back in. Don't continue putting it in the car, especially if it's a new one. Try to, yeah, just pull the fins back. It won't take you too long. The customers will appreciate you, especially when they check your work. And some customers are very clever. They will check your work once they get home, and if they're not happy, they'll come back and tell you how you messed up, their new parts. And yeah, not going to be a good thing for a mechanic to be shown how to do his job. Be very embarrassing in front of your fellow mechanic friends or workmates. So yeah, here we are, pulling the radiator fins and putting the radiator fins, opening them up for more flow. Again, I can't open all of them, but I'm getting the majority of them. That's all I need. I just want some flow happening in most of these areas here. It's better than what it was, that's for sure. Can't win all of them, but I'm happy with what it looks like so far. So I hope this radiator is actually good, because it looks good from the outside. When I look at it, it looks young and much fresher than mine. But if it was to leak, or if I were to find out that it's not even flowing, like it's blocked internally, that would be a disaster. It would be a really terrible moment to experience, because then that means I won't be able to use the car the next day. I would have to start pulling it apart again, and then my work would be affected. Tomorrow I need to be mobile. Tomorrow I need to really get on top of the game in my, self-employed work as a cleaner and a building maintenance man. I need to be on the top of my game. I need to move fast, swift and efficient, like a Swiss watch. And the car is very important in this job, because I use it pretty much like a taxi, like a truck. That's what it is. It's pretty much a truck. I'm just driving around you know, a lot of the time as I go from job to job. Clean here, fix something there, pick up something, drop it off, clean another shop, go and clean a house, go and clean a restaurant. Somebody asks me to fix something for them while I'm cleaning, because yeah, I'm handy that way. And now I'm doing lawn care as well, like I go and cut grass. So this car, and this car is really important for carrying big things like that. I can't be carrying a lawnmower in a Supra, can I? Nah, just wouldn't look right, and it's very difficult. Oh, look at that. It is so much better now. It's so much better. Only a little bit more to go, and then we'll call it quits. And come on. I hope I can. I did go to work just before this. I took a break from fixing the car. I started on it before going, but then I ran out of time. I had to go and get some more money, you know. I had to go do some work before I get too far behind. Do the small jobs. So I just jumped in the Supra and went and did the jobs. Or I did one job. I didn't get much done, but I did one, which is good. Got some money in my pocket. I'm not gonna go broke just yet. Oh, I think I got mosquitoes now coming out. It's around 7:15 now, 7:15 p.m. This is around the time the mosquitoes start to come out and start biting, and I'm starting to feel. I think I've been bitten twice now, so they're definitely coming out. Means I've got to go and put some long pants on. Right now I've got my shorts on. I should go and put some long pants on. We're in summer here in Australia, and the mosquitoes in the evening they become pretty fierce. There. Some of these fins are so deformed, there's no way of getting them back, you know, to perfection. So that is not even a goal. I'm not gonna even try to make them perfect. But here we go. Here we are. Pulling fins from the radiator. Radiator fins, that's what they're called, fins. Like shark fins or fish fins. The fins on the shark or in the fish. Same kind of thing. Well, it works on the same system as a shark and or a fish. How they breathe. It's the same system right here. Just a more basic version of it. So this is for cooling. Oxygen goes through it. Cools the heat. Alright, so this stuff is probably getting pretty boring for you guys. I'm gonna probably stop the recording and see what's next. Alright, done enough pulling that. So now let's go to the let's move our workstation to the other side. And this is what it looks like. Disconnected the fog lights to get there. The heat exchange for the aircon is just sitting in there nicely. All these hoses. And I've got the make sure these don't fall out, because when you remove a radiator mounts. This is a bottom radiator mount, it's rubber mount. It's very important. It's an isolator. protects the radiator from cracking because of all the vibrations you get in the metal. So yeah, right here, this is where it goes. Look at how squishy that is. That's why I took a lot of time taking it out. I think I must have done like 2 hours of just trying to get it out. Now, this is where the new water pump is gonna go. That's the first thing I would do is put that back. I think that's what I'll do first. I'm not sure. I'll study it again. Or I'll do everything in the same reverse order. I'll put the radiator back in. I probably will do that. I'll put the radiator back in. And then I'll put... I can still reach it from the other side. So, yeah, I might go with the radiator back in first. This has to come off. You can't get the radiator back in. It's like a cassette. You gotta drop it in from above, going down, and I believe it has to go together with the what do you call that? The fan. I'm gonna put this inside in case someone decides to pinch it. Alright, I'm gonna get the rest of my gear and I'll be back. It's been a few minutes. I haven't been recording. I'll just quickly show you where I'm up to with this. So I'm gonna put the camera for now, and that way I can give you a different perspective. Maybe here might be a good place. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we are. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So I'll just quickly show you the next point that I'm up to here. I've exchanged the hoses now. I've finished pulling the fins. Now I'm at the point where I am. I've put the fan on, so I'm just putting the fan on here. This time I will put it together as a set. I think this is the way it's supposed to go. So I'll quickly show you. There's a slot where it goes. This workshop is not very good, guys. Okay. So it goes into its slot. It slides in like that. That's what it looks like. Now it's together. So it goes into these little slots here. That's where it goes in. And then that on this side as well. It's got the same thing. Feed it into there. And then there's 2 bolts, one there and one there. I will most likely put them back as well. I'll take the radiator back to the front of the yard there and try to squeeze it back into the vehicle. And all these hoses are ready to go. I'll put this one on. This one I'll take it off when I get to the car. I'll slip it on because it's a top hose. That one's easy to put on. Everything has a place. It actually slots in there. Once you put it in like that, maybe I will just well, I'll try and put everything together as a unit and see how it goes. I don't need this one. I've already got a spare one on the car ready. Oh. Put them back there. Spares. Just kick that one. That's a spare. I won't throw that one away in case I need it in the future. I'll put them away somewhere careful. Alright, I'm going to take this to the car and try to slide it on. These fans do work. Okay, it's a very big unit. Now, how am I going to carry it one-handed? Okay, I'll have to pause the video again. I'll be back. I can't pause without my finger because I've got gloves now. Pick up the radiator. all put together like this. It's quite a heavy unit. So ready to go back in. This is probably about a good 10 kilo. It must be even heavier when it's filled with water. It's heavy, but it's not something that I can't lift. I'm not complaining, I'm just exaggerating a little bit. But it is heavy. It looks small and light, but yeah, it's not super light, guys. So, you know, make sure you got your muscles ready and stretched. You don't want to pull your back muscles. So this is the other radiator hose I've got here. I could use the original one. Which one's better? It's hard to say. They're all pretty good. I will never throw these hoses away. That's an expensive piece. Look at that hose. One hose. Look how long it is. That's one top hose. Phew, Ford, come on, man. They could have used a shorter design. But that's what they chose. That's what they got. Now I believe these are the ones. I'm trying to remember now. Oh boy, I'm starting to forget which ones are the ones for this. Nope, that's not the one. Now I gotta remember. It looks like it could be these two. They're definitely long enough. Yeah, that looks like the ones. I wanna put them on first. Saves me struggling with it once I start handling it. And I put a cap over that just to protect the oil tank, because over here that's where the transmission oil goes in. And I didn't want any water when I was washing it to drop in there, because then I'll have water in the transmission, and I don't want that. That could definitely cause another issue, a very expensive issue. But oh, come on, that doesn't want to go easy. Why not? Anyway, we'll get a spanner and we'll do that up properly. I'll get a spanner and do that up properly. Alright, I'll be back, guys. Oh, it's hot today, guys. It's evening. It's so much nicer working in the evening. Oh, we're in the beginning of summer. I got my Stanley tools. Very useful toolkit. Small, compact, but it does everything I needed to do. Got a 10 mil on an extension. 10 mil on an extension like that. Very nice little Stanley. I'll use that to. Oh wow, that's very tight. Why so tight? I don't like the way it's sitting. What's going on? Hey. Let me back this one off. Something's not right. It's not happy the way it's sitting. There we go, that's better. Now it's going in, going down. This was the way I think it was designed, so I'm giving it a try. I'm not a Ford technician, I'm not a Ford expert. I didn't get my apprenticeship in a Ford dealership, so if there's any Ford mechanics out there that have worked on many of these Ford Escapes in Australia and most of Europe, I think, an American, could be a Ford Escape. I think Canada it's a Maverick, Ford Maverick. So same thing, V6. If there's any Ford experts out there, don't laugh at me. Okay, this is now serious. Okay, now we're getting ready to do some serious work now, guys. Oh, some serious work. I'm gonna have to feed that into the engine now. I'm gonna give you a good spot to see exactly what I'm doing. Hey, can you see me, guys? Hey, I'm so close. It just feels like I'm too close. I don't know why. It feels like I'm just too close. Well, that's the best I can do for now. But what I'll do is actually I'll put you on this side. If I put you this side, guys, you get a different kind of perspective. Now you get to see me struggle this way. If you work in Ford, if you work for Ford, maybe you can write in the comments how you guys used to do this job, because I never worked on a Ford Escape ever, not even once in my mechanical career, and now I own one, but I'm still not. Still not. Okay, I'm gonna grease the mount. I just put a bit of WD-40 on there. The neighbor's going away, going out. Always good to put a little bit of grease or something to help slide the mounting points on. Otherwise you'll be struggling. This one I will remove. I don't need that there. Now here comes the difficult part. Whether this radiator hose doesn't go on first. That's the top hose. You don't want that on there because it makes it very hard to put on. In fact, let me just remove all the hoses out of here, out of the way. It's nice and clear, nothing in the way. But one thing, oh boy, I forgot to do one thing. I'll pause the video, guys. I don't want to waste your time. Yeah, I forgot to take off the alarm sensor here for the bonnet. This is the trigger alarm switch for the front bonnet. If you're American, I guess you'd call it a hood. In Australia and all the rest of the world calls it a bonnet. That's what it's called, a bonnet. A hood, I don't know what the hood means, but for some reason Americans call it a hood. Maybe they could explain it in the comment section. What the hell is a hood? A hood, it's like a hood. We call that a hood. It's like a cloth that you wear on top of your head when you have the jumper that has a hood. Yeah, that's what we call a hood, but not, we never call a anyway, you guys know what I mean. We don't call it a hood, but Americans do for some reason. I guess it all depends what your language, what things mean in your language actually, because you could call it a hood as long as it makes sense in your language. Oh boy. Okay, I have to be very, very careful here because these hoses, they're definitely, okay, they need to go in first. It appears that that's what space is dictating. Honestly, guys, it is tight. Look at this, guys. I'll just quickly bring you around, just show you how tight it is and why it was such a squeeze. to pull out. It took me a bit of time to study it. Look at that, I'm right up against the cooler right there. So it's very hard not to even damage the fins because of all this, you know, the tightness here. Unless you, I guess from the dealership it was designed that you pull off the front bumper. I would suggest if you've got more time, pull the bumper back, unscrew it wherever it needs to come off, unscrew it. If you want to treat it like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, you would do it properly. I'm sure the instruction manual tells you to pull the bumper off completely, but look what I've got. Even if I did that, I've got a bull bar here. I'm not gonna do that. So look at this, it's plastic. But yeah, Ford, they probably didn't think about it carefully, but what I want to do is WD-40 or some type of lubrication spray, a bit of that on the hoses to help it slip through. Some there. Just put it wherever you can, guys, especially here. That's where it doesn't really want to slip. So I've done that. You guys are gonna watch how it's gonna unfold for me. Which way should I? You wanna stand here, guys? You can stand here and watch. It is gonna be interesting for you. So what I would do is basically, if there was two of us, get someone to pull that back, and oh boy, there's really not much wrong there, guys. Ooh. I'm gonna use a hammer. No, hammer won't work. Maybe a big long screwdriver like this. I'm gonna try and create space somewhere. There we go. Just a little bit there like that. Get a little bit of space. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just like that, guys, it's installed. I'm scared though. I hope it didn't damage anything on its way down. Boy, that went down too easy, guys. Be careful when you spray grease on this thing. Whoa, that is too fast. That was not supposed to happen. I'll be right back, guys, because that slipped on way too easy. Sorry guys, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a torch. I can't find a torch. I need to check to make sure everything's good down there, because the last thing I'd like to do is, wow, that just went too easy. Whoa.